Hello, I am Fatima Razana. This is my JavaScript ES6 course homework assignment number 19. So this homework has two parts. We need to create presentations on build tools. First part is to select a build tool out of this list and create a presentation. So I've selected Browserify for my first presentation. For the second presentation, compare and contrast grunt and gulp. Let's walk through my first presentation, getting started with Browserify. So Browserify is a build tool. Browserify bundles all the modules into a single file to serve in the browser. It uses Node.js requires syntax to import JavaScript files. To install Browserify, we can do npm install Browserify. This will install Browserify local to the project. If we want to install system-wide, we need to add -g to make it global. Now let's see how to use Browserify. Here we have two script files. First one square.js. There's a function. It takes array as an argument, map each number in the array, get the square of that number, return the array as a result. In main.js file, requires syntax used to import square.js file, and here we have called square function. Okay. To combine these two into a single file, we can use the browserify command. Browserify main.js -o. -o stands for output to a bundle.js file. Finally, we can include this file in the HTML. That's all we have to do to bundle JavaScript files using Browserify. So what happens when you call Browserify to bundle up all the JavaScript files? Browserify goes through the main.js, which serves as an entry point. It watch for all the dependencies and bundle that into a single source file. So this is how bundle.js file looks like. Here all the npm modules and square function, square JS file and the square function. Here we can see all of these are ES6 syntax. Browserify transforms. Transforms are special plugins in Browserify which uses to do some various tasks before it bundles all the JavaScript files into a single file. So, for example, like transpiling ES6 to vanilla JavaScript, or uh, creating a source map file, minifying CSS files. For each of these tasks, there are various Browserify plugins. You can visit this link and you can see these are the available plugins for Browserify. Let's see how to transpile ES6 to vanilla JavaScript using this transform. Browserify has a transform plugin called Babelify which transfer ES6 into vanilla JavaScript. To install Babelify, you can run this command, save it as a dev dependency, and also we need to install the preset environments. Then in the command line, we can call the Browserify to transpile ES6 into vanilla JavaScript. Now the bundle.js file looks like this. So all of the const variable changed to var, which is a pure JavaScript syntax, and everything converted to pure JS syntax. Live rebuild. Beef is another plugin that enables live reload alongside of automatic rebuild. So it does two things. It runs a local web server to serve your files, and also it watches through your file system for source code changes. So npm install save dev beefy. Using this command, you can install beefy. To run the server, you can call beefy and the file name. So beefy listens to port 9966. Live command automatically rebuild and bundle up all the files whenever browser detects any changes in the source code. So far we were doing everything using command line. We can configure Browserify in our projects. To do that, we need to have a package.json file. To create package.json file, you just run npm init and go through the steps. So you will get a package.json file. After that, we can install all the dependencies and configure npm build and serve commands. To serve, to have a live server, you can configure beefy. When you run npm run server, it will listen to port 9966. To automate the build process, we can have this command configured with npm run build. Setting up with gulp. We can configure Browserify with gulp. First, we need to install gulp and create a gulp file. After that, we can configure task. So this is the gulp file. In the gulp file, first we require all the modules, then add the task. In JS task, we call Browserify to get the source and transform into vanilla JavaScript, bundle it up, and output to the destination directory. So that's how we configure Browserify with gulp. Let's walk through my second presentation, Grunt and Gulp. Grunt was Gulp. Grunt. Grunt is a task-based command line build tool for JavaScript projects. It has different plugins. We need to configure these in the Grunt file. It is it has a strict, independent, and sequential flow. So to install Grunt, we can use this command npm install grunt save dev. You can install grunt CLI to have multiple versions of the grunt in the same machine. So this is the structure of a grunt file. First, you need to wrap up grunt code using this function. Next, we have to configure project details. Grunt tasks rely on configuration data defined in object passed to the grunt. This init config. So we have configuration, get the file details from package.json, browserify command, babel command, uglify command to minify the files, and third step, we need to load the plugins. Finally, call the tasks. Register as default task. Okay. Let's see how grunt works. So grunt first read the file system, take the file, do the modification and write it to a temporary location. Then when it comes to the second task, it takes the temporary file, read the data and modify and write to the file system. So grunt flows through a file, temporary file until it completes all the tasks. So this way it slows down the process. What is gulp? Gulp is an alternative for grunt. It is also a build tool, a task runner. Uses streams from Node.js. It's code over configuration. Gulp is very fast compared to grunt and easy to read and use. So to install gulp, you do npm install gulp. Then you create a gulp file, install dependent packages and write tasks in the gulp file. Finally, we can run gulp tasks. In the gulp API, we have four, four API calls: gulp task, gulp src source, destination, and watch. So gulp source, it reads files from the file system and do all the transforms in the memory and write the output to destination. Gulp watch looks through all the changes. So this is how gulp works. Gulp take the files from the system, it reads the file and goes through a stream for each task. Finally output the result. This is a gulp file. First we need to include all the modules. Then we can configure tasks. In the JS task, you can see the browserify is here and other plugins to source map, uh, output output the result to the destination directory and so on, a lot of things. So gulp task default, after that configure gulp default task. That's all we need to have for gulp. So when to use grunt and gulp? We can use grunt for standard workflow with common tasks. Gulp can be used for more complicated tasks and projects. That's it. So that's the end of build tools presentations. Thank you for watching this video.